Well, here it is. This is the base set of Warhammer Quest. I did also take a little bit of license and include just a tad more than the base set. But let's take a look at it here. This is the box here, and I have augmented this box. I raised it just a smidgen, added some labeling here, the ultimate adventure, and so this is going to be something that's going to be mirroring the ultimate adventure book situation, and I do have a whole bunch of the ultimate adventure stuff printed out. Well, all of it's printed out, as a matter of fact. And so just wanted to get to this stage here. This is the main game plus all of the ultimate adventure book tiles in here, the dungeon cards, etc. So let's get into it and kind of show you what this looks like here. So this box was a Warfighter fantasy box, and has been converted. And then here we go. So on top we have some laminated hero cards here, and these hero cards should be sufficient to put the character's name right and items that you find, etc., and keep record of your adventures. So there's that guy. And then the adventure book. So this is the one, 30 adventures in here. This is the main adventure book that has come with the original game. And here it is. And then we have the rule book. So now with the rule book, I combine the getting started piece here in the front part of the rule book. And so there is that. And then, of course, the rule book. So that is that. The role play book, that is in its entirety here. And you can see that there. I do wish that there was a color version of all of these graphics in here, because, you know, that's the way I am. But there we have that, right? Okay, so those are the books. I have some other books, like I said, and another project that is brewing that I'm going to be sharing. But let's get to this one. So one of my favorite things to do is to also put together a insert with the box, and because I'm a big fan of just putting trays out and being able to play that way. So here we have the dungeon cards. We've got all the dungeon cards for the main set here, and so these are those guys. You can see those, and then also the ultimate adventure book dungeon cards right here. Now all of this stuff is Little Monk's augmentation of these and his redo on them, and just beautiful work. So had to go ahead and put these things together. The other thing that I did with this is instead of the little red dice to keep track of monster hit points, I decided to go with some tokens, and in here you can see these for damage. And so there you have that. So we got 1, 2, 5, and 10 damage tokens there, and damage amounts. So that is the dungeon cards. And then next we have the spell cards, wizard spell cards. These are all of the special cards here, and I went ahead and, I don't know if you can tell, I inked the edges of these. They just looked so much better when they were inked together like that, with the black border, etc. So these are all the special cards for spell cards here, and then we have the defense spells, right? And they're divided already, right? So you're supposed to divide these up, right? There's the attack spells, the defense spells, and what do we have? The healing spells up in here. So all the spell cards together like that, all in one location, one little tray. All right, what is next? Okay, so treasure. This is for the main game. I don't know what I'm going to do about the treasure cards. I really like the treasure book that Little Monk put out, and may just go with that. But I felt like I wanted to print out at least the main treasure deck here for the main game and have that available. I did print out some other treasure cards, so we'll see how it develops. And then here we have the event cards, all for the main game here, like that. And there are those things right there. And so there is that. So I felt like it felt good to put the event cards and the treasure decks together like that. And then here we are, some dice here. So for the power die, felt like a big die would be cool. And some other D6s in there for your pleasure. All right, but here are all of the tiles. And from a previous video I did where I was kind of showing what I was doing, I did ink all of these tiles. And these tiles here are a combination now of all of the original tiles and the tiles from the Ultimate Adventure book. And I just felt like having all the tiles together would be a good thing to do here. There are some tiles that are still available for me to create as a part of some of the scenarios and other adventure books that are out there. So I'm gonna have to see how that goes. But you can see here the tiles here, roughly 5/8 inches per tile, and which creates about a 20 millimeter miniature there. And I'll show you those here in a second. But this is all the tiles for the main game and for the Ultimate Adventure book as well. So there's that. All right, tokens. Let's take a look at tokens. So these tokens, I made the actual piece here. It's about a 1/2 inch and about a 5/8 inch wooden token here. And so these cover all of the main base tokens for the game, power tokens, a whole bunch of those guys there. So there's that there. Take a look here. These are the main character sheets. And let me just share the characters. So I did another video where I was cutting all of the miniatures out piece by piece. And so this is the Chaos Warrior, the Praetorian Knight. So I'm going to share these guys here. So very excited about all these guys. Get these guys going. And in an adventure. Oh yeah, I have the Hobbit, probably my favorite one. That is a little dude. And I just love the sizing mixture in the game with the monsters, with the characters. Just fantastic. And then more of the characters here. And the Elf Ranger, right? I think that's who that is. Here we have the Wizard. All right, so that is the miniatures here for the characters. And then all of the character cards are in here. And so along with all of the other explanations of things and who they are and how they play. So, you know, the basic game, just have the information from the cards is enough on here. And War Dancer, Elf Ranger, there he is. And then I also created, if you looked at my other video, the full cast book, right? And so this has all the information from all of the characters for that extended role play type feature. And then I created a secondary book here of the main characters here. So this will have the barbarian and the dwarf and the elf all together. So there's that guy too. And all of these books are going to be housed with the Ultimate Adventure book, like that. And then have all of the equipment and the various things that the characters will start with right in here, based on their cards. And so let's take a look here at the other tokens. And Sean Fairbanks was generous enough to help me out with putting together some of the doors here. And these doors are just iconic. So And really appreciate the 3D print on these things. I do like the idea of an entryway, right? And you know, normally when you play the game, you might start in a on a stairway, or you might start in a hallway or in a room already, right? And I just feel like, man, there's got to be like an entrance that comes down into that. So so there's that. So I'll be using this, and of course the doors. They're so iconic here, and had to have that put together for the game as well. And that, and then here we have the tokens for the various characters in this box right here. So there's that. And then also, one of the other things that Sean did for me here is this little burner. This is going to be so cool. So I did paint this using a translucent paint. But I like the idea of the barbarian, right, shining his torch, right, from room to room. And I was watching the video by the Dungeon Dive, and he had a little lantern, and he was putting from corridor to corridor, and I just felt like, man, this would be a great piece to just put on each open doorway where the barbarian is shining through his lantern, right? So anyway, I thought that would be so cool. So there's that one. And then in terms of these other tokens, the portcullis, now this fits right on here, and this just fits perfectly within the door here, just like so. And so when you walk into that room and then the portcullis slams, there it is. So excited about how that came together with the fit. But the other tokens in here, the other doors, the cave-ins, the stairs down in here, and then the pit, the barrels, the treasure chests, fallen warriors, etc. All those extra miscellaneous tokens in here, all printed at that about 5/8 to 1/2 inch sizing right there. So there is that. And then lastly, it is, you guys, the monster box. So this is all of the monsters for the main game. We have the minotaurs up in here, and the bats, right? Here, like so. And the Skavens. Man, I just love the Skaven. I think it might be one of those things where I just love the Advanced Hero Quest Skaven Wars, right? It seems like. But here you have the Skaven in here. So yeah, all of the creatures are in here. And there's the orcs here. And so obviously, along with the Ultimate Adventure book, there's going to be a lot more of these little dudes. Orc archers in here. What else do we have here? I think this is my big old fingers in here. Spiders, can you see that? Am I showing these? All right, doing them justice? Maybe, maybe not. Like that. What are they called? Gnarly dudes, something like that. Goblin archers right there. Goblin spearmen. Again, these are about 18-ish millimeter. I think that's about what they look like to me. Not an official measurement, but that's the Pedro measurement. Some rats in there too. So there you go. So that is all of the main miniatures, and that is all of the miniatures that you have for. And here's just a little run through, having set all of the miniatures up so that we can kind of see what they are. All of these were hand cut, printed out of the spiny Norman standees, and then I hand cut them out with a blade, and I have a video about all of that. Skaven back there, spiders. So this is what it all looks like, all of the miniatures right there. So having taken the miniatures out and kind of did a little run through on those, I thought it might be a good idea just to take it all out of the trays and kind of show you the amount of content that's in that box right there. and how much the trays that I have everything in really help to sort of situate everything and just make play that much easier. Take the trays out, put them on the table with as little fuss as possible. All of these tiles, these are printed on a glossy cardstock and mounted on a 50-point chipboard. And I just use a simple glue stick to adhere everything, get real good adhesion with all of that, but you can kind of get to see all the pieces, parts to this project. And I've got another box that I just put aside for the rest of the build. Little preview here, all the things that are printed, ready for assembly for the Ultimate Adventure book. There you go. Hope you enjoyed looking at my compilation of my Warhammer Quest build, and I'm sure there's going to be more to come. Thanks for watching.